welcome to another unboxing video. This one is for the first colour trend of 2020 from Tonic and Nuvo, and it's called Tropical Paradise. If you saw my unboxing video of Tonic Craft Kit 31, you will have seen some of these bits and pieces already, because that gave you a little sneak peek of the product. I have now got practically everything. The only things I'm missing are the two embossing powders, which are called Glimmering Green and Strawberry Slush. So if I get them by the time, or like before I edit this video, I might add a little bit of footage at the end, but I'm not sure I will get them. But I've got everything else to show you. So let's start with the Craft Perfect. So there are 5 new packets of Craft Perfect cardstock. Please ignore the mess. My desk is so cluttered at the moment, it's quite difficult to film and everything. But anyway, the cardstock, the first one is called Mica Gold. So if you loved the Hollow Waves that came out in January 2019 with the Dream in Colour colour trend, which was like a silvery mirror, rainbow mirror card, this is the gold version, which is Mica Gold. It's really, really gorgeous. I've been really enjoying using this one. So that is the first cardstock. The second one is a gorgeous bright pink mirror cardstock. This one is called Magnificent Magenta. Really, really gorgeous. It's coming across a bit purple on camera, but it is really a gorgeous, bright, blinding pink colour. Really, really gorgeous. Then we have pearlescent cardstock, which is called Palm Tree, and the Tonic pearlescent cardstock has that gorgeous subtle pearlescent sheen to it, and it is double-sided as well, so you can use it for any kind of ornament kind of projects where something might twiddle around and you'd see the other side. Then we have a speciality embossed card which is called Jungle Fever, which is really pretty. It's full of, jam-packed full of jungly leaves and vines and stuff, but it's a really low profile embossed design. It looks like it's quite 3D, but it isn't. Like, it's not going to intrude too much on your card. It does feel quite flat, but it looks 3D, so it's like a clever optical illusion the way they've used texture to make the background look like it's further away. So that's that Jungle Fever. Then the final one is a handcrafted cotton paper. We've had this design before. I think it was in... it's probably been in a few different colours, but I remember it being in Surprise Party in a pink colour tone, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it in maybe blue and white as well. But this one is called Tropical Nights, and it's my perfect kind of purple colour, my favourite colour, and it goes really, really nicely with the sparkle spray from this collection as well. So that is the Tropical Nights. Then, if you like making smaller projects, or maybe you don't want to invest in a full pack of 5 A4 sheets of all of their cardstock, they have also brought out the mixed card pack. So you don't get the cotton paper in this one, but all the other 4 you get. So you're getting 6 of each of them. So you get 6 6x6 sheets of each of them, and these pads are usually $5.99, I think. So it works out a lot better value to get this kind of a size of pad. However, you just don't have the large size. So if you like to make larger projects, you're going to want to get the A4 card. But if you like making small projects, or you just cut small die cuts and stuff, it works out better value because you're getting 4 different types of the cardstock in there as well. So you're getting 24 sheets in that. And then, as well as the Craft Perfect cardstocks, there's also the paper pad as well. So this is the Tropical Paradise paper pad. Again, 24 sheets, 8 designs, 6 of each, but they're double-sided. So you get 6 of this design and 6 of this design, but they're stuck to the back of each other. So I kind of view it as you're getting 3 of each design, but if you preferred one more than the other, you could use 6 of them. And I've got my little scraps in there, but the first one is a kind of mustardy paper with a lighter and then a white kind of a polka dot on there. And on the back of that, you're getting a gorgeous geometric pattern with solid and open triangles. Then you get this green design, which looks kind of like a manhole cover, like that metal grating kind of a look, but it's a lighter green with a darker green pattern on top, or a more muted green rather than lighter, and on the back of that you get like a deck chair kind of stripe with a sort of muted teal kind of colour and a really dark green. Then the pink one is this gorgeous lattice kind of design where every other like diamond has a little circle filling it in to give it a different look, and it's a dark pink design on a light pink background. And then on the back of that you get another latticey kind of design, which is a dark pink dotty kind of lattice onto a light pink paper. And then finally you get this green. It's a different shade of green to the other one. If you see them both next to each other, see, this is more of a yellowy green, whereas this was more of a bluey green. And this has got little jungle leaves all over it, which are really pretty in like double strips. They kind of go, it's kind of a double strip that repeats across, and it's a lighter design on a darker background. And then on the back of that you've got like a gridded kind of pattern with larger squares in there as well as smaller ones, and it's a really light green on top of the dark green as well. So that's the pattern paper. Then I think I'm going to do this video differently. A lot of the time I show you all the products and then come back to my cards that I've done, but I thought I'd just show you them as I go along because this one focuses on all of the Craft Perfect, so I thought I'd just show you this one now. So for this, all I did, let me zoom you in, all I did was take, I picked 3 designs from the pattern paper that I wanted to use, one green, one yellow, one pink, and then I picked obviously the pink mirror card, the Inca Gold mirror card, and then the green pearlescent card as well. And then I just took my guillotine and just trimmed random strips, changing the width of the different designs and colours and stuff, and always doing a really skinny strip for the metallic ones. And then all you do is cover your piece of card in double-sided adhesive. I like to use like one of these really wide rolls of adhesive. I just got this one on eBay, but scrapbook.com do a really good one as well. And you just cover your cardstock in that, and then you take your strips, lay them down whatever diagonal you want, or you can do them straight or you can do them horizontal, and then just keep butting them up against each other, and then you get this really cool background design, which is really bright and funky. And then I just added the thanks on there 3 times. I made it to go this way, but it could go this way as well. And the thanks is just the sentiment strip thanks die set from Tonic. So let's have a look at some more of the products. Let's show you the ink pads and some of the drops first, because I've got a card that shows off those. So these are the Nuvo Diamond Hybrid ink pads. Just like all of their other small ones, they fit inside the little mini distress ink tins, and they're just 3 new colours of them that go along with this Tropical Paradise colour trend absolutely perfectly, and they're called Exotic Orchid, Oriental Iris and Parakeet Green. Really gorgeous colours. They fit really nicely into the colour palette as well, you know, that's already existing from Tonic and Nuvo. And because they're hybrid ink pads, you can use them with water-based or alcohol-based products as well. So if you want to have a coloured outline but do your alcohol-based colouring, these ones won't bleed for you. But they're also just really great for stamping anyway. If you don't particularly like to colour, but you just want to do a stamped background design, they're really great for that, because then if you decide that maybe your background's looking too harsh against the white cardstock you used, you can add a watercolour wash over the top of it, and you're not going to have to worry about your ink smudging all of the design that you've just stamped. So I really do love their hybrid ink pads. So that is the new Tropical Paradise. The actual set is called, because it goes with the Tropical Paradise trend. So that's that new set. And then I'll go through the drops now as well, because they will be popping up on all of my different cards. I only have the mini version of 2 of the drops, but obviously they would be a full-size version, and this would be in a Dream Drop bottle, and this would just be in a generic looking bottle, which I haven't got one here. But you've got a vintage drop, which does come with the little tag on it as well, just like all of the other vintage drops. And these have that gorgeous hexagonal lid on them, and they've got more of like a rectangular bottle shape to them, and they're really easy to squeeze. And this colour is called Emerald Isle, It's a really beautiful jungly green, really. Really pretty, goes absolutely perfectly with the colour trend. So that is the vintage drop that you get. Because since the other colour trends came out, we've had other products or Nuvo products being released. For example, the Stone Drops, the Dream Drops, and the Expanding Mousse, the Sparkle Sprays, the Glacia Paste, all that kind of stuff. All these new colour trends for 2020 have got those products mixed into them as well. So the drops, rather than just having the normal drops and a mixture of the gloss ones, the glitter ones, the metallic ones, we've now got different types of drops in all of these releases, which is really nice. So we also have a stone drop in this gorgeous hot pink kind of a colour, which is called Berry Burst, and the previous pink I think was more of like a salmony pink rather than a bright vibrant kind of Barbie doll kind of a pink, really. But this one is really gorgeous. I've used that quite a bit actually, and you can do all sorts of techniques with stone drops as well as vintage drops. I think I've done an up close video on vintage drops as well, but there's definitely one on the stone drops, so if you want more inspiration with those, just check on my channel for any of my up close videos, and you should find the stone drop one. Then I've also done an up close video for Dream Drops as well. Obviously it's a full size bottle in the trend, but the Dream Drop colour is called Lemon Twist, which is really gorgeous lemony colour, which is it's a different colour to the Gold Luxe that was in the original release. This is more of a pastel-y lemony kind of a yellow, hence the Lemon Twist name. So that's the Dream Drop. And then the last drop is a glitter drop, which is called Sugar Plum. It comes across a bit grey on camera, but it is a gorgeous purpley tone with obviously different colours of glitter inside it. So those are the drops that you get. And this card, all I have done, I've just made it really simply. I've used a bit of that Craft Perfect in the background, but I've taken Exotic Orchid and Oriental Iris and just swiped them across the background just to give a really quick, simple, almost brush stroked kind of look to the background, but it literally takes seconds. Like, all you do is hold the ink pad at an angle. If I take the ink pad out, so when I was doing it, say if I try and hold it sideways, I would hold well, obviously this would be flat on the table, but I would hold the ink pad at this kind of an angle. I don't know if you can really see it. This kind of a 45-degree kind of angle to the paper, and then you press down on this end that's closest and pull it along, and that's how you get that kind of swiping effect. And then to make it look a bit more interesting, I just added some of the stone drops and the glitter drops, just sort of dispersing across the background with more higher concentration here, with sort of fading off over this side. And then I've just used one of the these are from the Floral Aperture die sets. This was the oval pansy one. It's one of my favourite dies that Tonic have brought out, I think. And I just used the stone drops to decorate the flower centres on that one. So that's just a use of the ink pads. Obviously stamping for the ink pads as well, but I know that's kind of like obvious, like an ink pad, obviously you're going to stamp with it, so I thought I just wanted to show you another way that you can use your ink pads as well to give you a kind of background effect. Then the next product I'll show you the Expanding Mousse and then the Confetti and Glitters. So the Expanding Mousse, I also have a full video on expanding mousses as well, I think. Pretty sure I do. An up close video and stuff looking at the expanding mousse, and this is a brand new colour which is called Cactus Green, and the last green, well the only green that's in the expanding mousse, I think it's called Granny Smith or Bramley Apple. No, it's called Bramley Apple. Wait a sec, I'll find it. Yep, it's Bramley Apple, but you can see that's much more of a yellowy green, whereas this new Cactus Green is more of a bluey kind of a green. Really pretty colour. I've really enjoyed using this as well, and I've actually used this on two cards actually. You can use it obviously in the thick capacity as the expanding mousse where you heat it and it puffs up, but you can also just use it like a normal embellishment mousse as well. If you don't add heat to it, it doesn't puff up, so you can get different looks just by having the expanding mousse over the embellishment mousse as well. and you can tell the difference between an expanding mousse and an embellishment mousse because of the colour of the lid. A normal embellishment mousse has a white lid, whereas the expanding mousse has a grey lid. So that is the Cactus Expanding Mousse. And then I'll also show you, the Mica Mist and the Confettis as well, because then I've got two cards that I can show you that I've used them on. So the Mica Mist is called Pimas Grass, and it is, again, really similar kind of colour tones across the Nuvo products, so everything works really, really nicely together. And this looks phenomenal on black cardstock. Really, really gorgeous on black cardstock, this one. And have I done a full video on... I don't think I have done a full video on the mica sprays. I think they came out before I was doing talking videos, but I have mentioned it quite a few times in kit unboxing videos about how to clean out the nozzle of your mica sprays as well. Basically, once you've finished using it, you want to, for that day I mean, you want to unscrew the lid, and then I call this the uptake tube, and you just want to put that into a glass of water or a pot of water inside your sink, and then just keep spraying until only clear water is coming through the sprayer, and that will just mean you'll have cleared out all the mica from the uptake tube, so it shouldn't get blocked over time. And then before you use it the next time, you just want to do a couple of pumps to get rid of the water out of it, and then the product will come back up. And you also want to make sure you shake it really well before you use it. It's really difficult to tell or to show you, but you can kind of see it clumping at the bottom. It's very difficult to show on camera because it's all reflective and stuff. But in real life or in person, you'll be able to see that it's all clumped at the bottom, and you can just keep shaking it to get it to disperse back into solution. So that is the mica spray or mica mist. And then there's also a set of confettis and glitters which come in a little 4-pack like this, which again are in plastic bottles like the Jingle Bells, Let It Snow, and... oh no, it was just called Jingle Bells and Let It Snow, wasn't it? There was just two, I think. Yes. The same kind of packaging as those ones that came out. So they're the same size as the original kind of sets of 4, but they're just in a plastic bottle now rather than a glass bottle. And you're getting 25 millilitres in each of these as well. And the colours that you're getting these gorgeous jewelled jade sequins. They're all the same size sequin in there. They're about a 6mm sequin, but these sequins are beautiful. They go from green to blue, and they're just so gorgeous, these ones. They just really remind me of peacocks, the kind of colours that you see in peacocks. They're really, really, really pretty. Then you get Lagoon Luster glitter, which is a really gorgeous, again, like emeraldy or more on the blue side of a green. It's not really a turquoise, it's still a green, but it's got more of a blue tint to it rather than a yellow tint, but really pretty glitter. Then we have Fabulous Flamingo Circles, which I think could be my favourite because I just really love the circle confetti, and this is the biggest size of circle confetti that we've had. We've only ever had about 2mm diameter ones, or maybe 5mm. These are more like 6mm maybe. Maybe we've had 2 and 4mm, and these are more like a 5. I'm not sure. But anyway, they're just gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Really pretty. And then Dragonfly Wings glitter as well, which is a really deep purple kind of colour. It is slightly more on the pinkier side than the bluey side of a purple. Sorry, my camera doesn't like purple. But yeah, really, really pretty glitter. So those are the confettis and glitters and stuff as well. And I've got this sample to show you using the expanding mousse. And one of my favourite ways to use the expanding mousse is to create a background die cutting apertures using dies. So for this one I used this little tropical leaf, which was in a wreath die set that Tonic brought out more than a year ago, I think. And I just used the little extra leaf to cut 5 little apertures out of this background, and then I stuck that piece onto another piece of white card. I took the mousse and my palette knife and I just scraped it across the surface, and then where you had the recessed area where the die cut had been taken out, you're getting a thicker amount of mousse in that area, and you want to make sure you get a thin amount on the rest of the card. And then when you go to heat it, obviously this portion is going to puff up a lot more because there is more mousse there. But before you heat it, I actually sprinkled in some of that gorgeous Lagoon Luster glitter, and I pressed in some of the Jewel Jade sequins as well. So if you can press them in, and they are like heat stable, they don't melt when you're expanding the expanding mousse. So that's a really good thing to know as well. And the glitter doesn't seem to melt or disappear either, so they withstand the temperature basically needed to expand the mousse. So you can do all these kind of, I call this encrusted expanding mousse. I have done a video or two using this idea before, and I definitely do have, I'm pretty sure I do have an up-close video using expanding mousse. I seem to remember filming it, so it should be up there somewhere if you want some more ideas of how to use expanding mousse. That's one of my favourite ways. So that's showing you the expanding mousse and some of the sequins and glitters. But you see there, those sequins look green, but from my angle where I'm seeing it, they're blue. And if you tilt it, oh, I don't know if I can catch it on camera. There, you can see they're like half green, half blue. And then you go to a different angle and they look completely blue. Whereas that angle, they just look completely green. Really cool sequins. Then I've also done this one, which was using the Mica Mist and the expanding mousse together, because they're both brilliant colours that work really nicely, and using them onto black. So all I did was I took the white mat that comes with the media mat, I took my palette knife and a little bit of this out and just scraped it in multiple places, just a really small amount of it, and then I watered the mousse down by spraying on the Mica Mist. Rather than adding water, I just sprayed on the Mica Mist. And then I just took a piece of black card and put the card into the inky mess and just splooshed it around and picked it up, and you get that cool textured kind of look in it. And I just thought that looked so beautiful just by itself, that I made such a simple card with it just to emphasise that gorgeous background. And that was just the Mica Mist and the mousse, so really, really simple to do. And then I've also, if I show you, this is the new shimmer powder, which is called Sunray Crozette. I think I said that right. Exactly the same size and everything as the original ones. But obviously it's this gorgeous yellow colour. There has been a yellow before which was called Solar Flare, but that only had a single pigment in it. It was just yellow. This one has got little flecks of an orangey red kind of colour in it as well. I have got this sample here to show you. This is what that powder looks like. So you can see how you've got those little red flecks in, and that is just all coming out of this one pot. So you get the yellow and the red together. So that's what the shimmer powder looks like. But I was also experimenting because I wanted to see what the shimmer powder would look like with the green Mica Mist. So I did two experiments, one on black, one on white, to see what it would look like, and it gives it maybe more of a muddier look, but if you catch it in the light you still get that green Mica Mist kind of a colour compared to just the shimmer powder. So just the shimmer powder or the shimmer powder and the Mica Mist give different looks. I'm sure if you used a different coloured Mica Mist it might look nicer than this does with the green, but if you catch it at the right angle I think that green looks really nice with it. Maybe if I added more of the spray the green would come through more, but you can also do that onto black and it gives a completely different look as well. See, on the black the green is really showing up, whereas that red from in the yellow powder is sort of non-existent when it's on the black, because the red is maybe more of a pigment and not a mica, so it's sort of disappearing, or a dye rather than a mica, so it's kind of disappearing on the black. So I wanted to show you those as well. Then I'll just go through the last few products to show you as well. So we have a glitter marker. I didn't actually use this on any of my samples, but I don't think I did an up-close video on glitter markers, but I think I did like a backgrounds technique idea sort of video using them, so I'm sure you'll be able to find that on my channel. And this one is called Wild Mulberry. the one that goes with the Tropical Paradise colour trend. A really gorgeous purple colour. I'll just scribble some out for you. Really pretty. And this matches the sparkle spray really nicely as well. And it matches that paper that I showed you before, the handmade cotton paper. So they go absolutely perfectly together. You could even draw some of this on top to pick out the detail. Oh, that looks really good. That looks really nice. So instead of using a mousse to pick out the detail on these papers, you can actually use your glitter markers as well, which I probably would never have thought to do if I hadn't have got one that was a similar colour. But that looks really pretty. Just picks out the detail and gives it a sparkly look. Really nice as well. So that is the glitter marker. Then we also have the, I'll show you the sparkle spray and then I'll show you that card that I've done. So this is the sparkle spray. This colour is called Amethyst Shimmer, and it's that really gorgeous deep purple of that paper. Really, really gorgeous. But when you spray these, obviously they're like a mica mist, but they've got glitter in, so everything I said about a mica mist applies to this glitter spray as well. But they are really pigmented or really saturated with glitter, so to make my sparkle sprays go further, I've actually just been taking a empty mister bottle and I've shook this up so it's really, really well mixed, and then I pipetted maybe this much into the bottom of this mister bottle and then topped it all the way up to the top with water. So I mean, you could just do water on your background and have a spray from this to give the same kind of effect, but I just felt like it was maybe a bit easier just to have an extra one mixed up with a more dilute version. So if you wanted it in a neat form, you can use it straight from the bottle, or if you want a more subtle kind of effect, you can use it watered down like this. And that watered down version gives this kind of a subtle, more of a subtle look, whereas straight from the bottle gives you more of an intense purple colour, rather than this gives you slightly more of a muted purpley, still very sparkly though. Even though you've watered it down, very, very sparkly. You're mostly watering down the kind of colour that's in there, I think. And then the rest of this card, you will probably notice, has got glitter and sequins and stuff on it. So the sequins are those sequins from before, and the glitters are the two glitters. And the way I did this, I took the Nuvo Craft Perfect adhesive sheets, and you want to use quite a more thicker outlined die. I was trying to do it with an intricate one. I think I've still got the die cut here. I was trying with this intricate die. That is a nightmare. Do not go that fine. It is a real nightmare to try and get that off and get it stuck down without losing any bits of the adhesive or rucking up the design. So definitely go with something that's a bit more chunky, like these flower dies. And this flower was from one of the Triple Easel die sets as well. But go with something more chunky, and what you do is you die cut them from the double-sided sticky sheets, then you take one side of the backing paper off, so it's basically like a sticker, and then you stick it onto your cardstock. Then I was using this rounded smooth side of the Precision Glide folder from Tonic to burnish on the adhesive, like the kind of sticker that you've made. Then once you've done that, you can peel off the sticker, and you can do it selectively. So example, I peeled off the leaves and did the green glitter on them, and then once I got rid of all the excess green glitter, I peeled off the backing of the purple, or the flowers, and then put the purple glitter on that. And I did that kind of effect in one of my Tonic Craft Kit number 31 videos as well. At the point I filmed this, I'm not sure I've put that video up yet, but I'm sure it will be up by the time I put this video up, showing you how I did that kind of technique with the dies from kit number 31 as well. So that is another use for the glitters, and also showing you the sparkle sprays. Then finally, before I lose my voice from talking so much, the last thing in the colour trend are the Glacia Paste, and obviously the embossing powders, but I haven't got them to show you. But the Glacia Paste, you get 2 in this colour trend, and they are very different colours from the original release of colours, which is brilliant, you know, that gives you more versatility with them. And the yellow one is called Pineapple Delight, and the pink one, which if you got kit number 31, you got a small little sample pot of this, is called Mambo Melon. But they're really, really gorgeous colours, and they work really nicely together. The yellow is kind of more subtle, a bit paler than the pink, you know, in colour tone wise, but they still go really nicely together, and they look really nice mixed. They give a nice peachy kind of a colour as well. So they are the two Glacia Paste, and I've got this example to show you where I wanted to see what the Glacia Paste would look like with the Shimmer Powder. So this is the Shimmer Powder and the Glacia Paste, and I did it in a similar way to that I just explained about the Mica Mist and the expanding mousse. I took a little bit of the Glacia Paste out of the pot and put it on that white mat that comes with the media mat. This, I think it's called the Easy Clean mat. So I just put my palette knife in there, spread a few little bits out, not too much, and then I sprayed a bit of water on it, and then I sprinkled in some of the Sunray Crozette, and then sprayed a little bit of water if I thought it needed it, and then took the cardstock and just pressed it in and wiggled it around, and then you get this really cool like proper mica packed sort of a background, and you even get the texture, a little bit of texture from the Glacia Paste as well, but you're getting a lot of that gorgeous burst of colour from the Shimmer Powder as well. So that is one way of using the Glacia Pastes, and the other way is using them through a stencil. So this is one of the new Mosaic Stencils from Tonic, and I just held that in place and used 2 pieces of cut and dry foam, so little pieces like this of cut and dry foam, and just the way I like to use the Glacia Paste is I sort of gently pounce it on through the design first, and then you can sort of rub over it to get thicker areas, and it sort of builds up around the edges a bit. But Glacia Paste dries very flat, so you don't need to spread it on thickly with a palette knife. You're kind of wasting your product then, because you don't need that amount of product to get this kind of a look. You can just apply it really thinly with a piece of sponge, or even your fingers if you want to. But yeah, so use it more in a thin manner rather than thickly, because you really don't need it thick. It's not going to stay and keep that thickness. So it'll go a lot further if you use it in a thinner application, basically. And so that is how you can get that gorgeous effect of the two-tone, and it is kind of blended underneath the vellum there, but I put a piece of vellum across to sort of mute down the blend as well, because it goes, you know, the pink's a bit harsher in colour than the yellow, so that kind of mutes the colour tone there. And then with any of the mousse that I had left over, I mixed it together and then swiped it across an extra piece of card, and then I've used that to cut a little heart out and to cut my sentiment out as well. And that Hello Sunshine is from one of the wreath die sets that came out quite recently. I haven't got a video on them because I didn't do any of the prep for them, but that's where I got that sentiment from. And then to finish this card, I used the Stone Drops and a couple of Dream Drops as well. So I used the Dream Drops in the yellow area and the Stone Drops in the pink area as well. So I hope you enjoyed this unboxing video of the Tropical Paradise colour trend from Tonic and Nuvo. I feel like I'm going to lose my voice now. I've been talking way too much. But I hope you enjoyed all the little samples that I've done, showing you a few different ways of how you can use all of the different Nuvo products. And don't forget to check out my channel, have a look for my up close videos that I've done over the past 18 months or so, because if you're interested in just the vintage drops, or just the expanding mousse, or just the mica mist maybe, or glitters and things, I'm sure there'll be a separate video that goes into more detail on that product for you as well. I try to keep my titles quite explanatory of what's in my up close kind of videos, so even if you just search in YouTube like CRaFTi Potential Nuvo glitter markers, something should come up on them, or CRaFTi Potential expanding mousse, you should find the video that you're looking for. So anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video and maybe got some inspiration of how you want to use some of your Nuvo products, or maybe inspiration of how you might use this colour trend as well. And and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye!